Hi, I'm Foxy, otherwise known as Jennifer Welton on Facebook. Well, I would have to say that there's this amazing woman that attracted me into the workshop. Her name is Natalie. I actually heard about the workshop from my personal mentor who created it. And to me it was like, well, I've been working on personal development stuff for probably like the last all of my life. I've had a hard life, and so I've always been working on something within myself to create this joy and this passion that just continues to push me through all of my trials. And it was like, well, that's already something I'm doing, so I don't really want to like sign up to a class and make like an arrangement to make it happen. But then when I sat down to talk to Natalie, who had already been through the workshop once, just the way that she spoke about it was like with this passion, and like it was going to change my life because it had helped change hers. And what she didn't know is that, or maybe she did, is that we were struggling a lot at home. Like the biggest thing that I really wanted to get out of this was a stronger home life and a stronger relationship with my husband. And we're a little non-traditional, so I live in a polyamorous household, so we also have another woman that lives with us. And there was a lot of struggle that was going on. I mean, as you can imagine, 3 very strong personalities in the same house is pretty fun. But I really saw this as an opportunity for all of us to then like align with each other and grow together. And because of the passion that she had and when she was speaking about it, it really made me believe that it was something that I could actually get the other 2 to agree to and to be behind as well, instead of just suckering them into it because I wanted to do it. So I would say that's probably the biggest inspiration, was to create the best home life that I can for my family and for our existence. And for us to all be able to grow together in the ways that, you know, she had been talking about her own personal growth. And I had seen it too. I had seen her grow. And I'm a, you know, seeing is believing kind of person. And so in seeing it in her, it made me believe that I could see it in me too. You know, in this workshop, there was a really heavy focus on making sure that we're taking care of ourselves in lots of different ways. I had already been taking care of myself pretty well nutritionally using the same program, so it was really nice that those products that I was already used to using were included in the workshop, that whole method, like none of that changed for me. What I really like about the nutrition aspect and the way that we have it lined up is I don't really think about food. So if my brain isn't thinking about what food I need to eat or what I'm doing, I have a lot more capacity to think about a lot of other things and to really create what it is that I'm trying to create. So with having the nutrition stuff handled and having like the fitness and the outer stuff like handled, I could really work on the inner stuff. And I honestly didn't know that I was going to grow as much as I did, because there's been a lot of change in my life in the last 90 days. I would say that I'm definitely a lot more like of a dominant alpha personality now than I was when I started out 90 days ago. And that really has just come from, I think it's the second workshop. Like the first workshop of letting it go, I've done those types of practices and exercises before. The second workshop on like limited beliefs and really understanding, like the pivotal point for me was understanding how to understand my emotions, if that makes sense. Like I never really had a good connection with the emotions that were going on. I've always been taught that you just push your emotions like down to the side and, you know, you drop your ish at the door. And so like, that's what I'd always done. Just take all my emotions, put them in a box and push them to the side. Why even think about them? They just get in the way when it comes to decision making. And so in this, like, I didn't really have a good grasp on what my emotions meant or what the feelings that I was feeling inside were. And so when Michelle led that on like, the biggest impactful piece was when she was saying, you know, there's only 4 different types of emotions that you really feel. And with the emotion comes some kind of physiology. And let's talk about the different types of physiological reactions that you have. And there's that seeing part for me. So once I could see like, okay, so if I'm scared about something, then it's gonna be this type of reaction. Every time my heart started to feel that like tightening and that fear and that little bit of racing and like that yucky feeling in my stomach that comes with fear, which is actually like my biggest emotion I've noticed. I'm either happy or I'm fearful. I don't really have a lot of anger. And there's sadness that's there, but it doesn't really come out a whole lot. But it's a lot of fear. And so just like being able to understand that that feeling and those reactions, that physiology was actually my feelings telling me that I was scared about something, then I could stop and go like, ooh, why am I feeling this way? Okay, this is the feeling of scared. And what am I scared about? And then I could actually ask myself those questions and grow through that and become less fearful. And in becoming less fearful, I've been able to speak my mind more. I've been able to be more of who I am. I've been able to basically just like dominate everything in my life because it's mine. It's my life. I'm the one that owns it. And so I took a lot out of that. I'd say that that's probably the biggest thing that I got out of this workshop overall, was that this is my life, that I own it, and that I partner with the other people that are in my life to create what it is that we're looking at, but each of their lives is their lives too. So like understanding that it took all three of us really holding for ourselves to then be able to hold together, I would say is probably the biggest thing that I got out of the workshop with the different topics. That's really like the main one that stands out to me, the one that I got the most growth out of. I mean, I have a plan now of like what I want to do for the future. And actually seeing my husband like sit down and write out a plan, and then also seeing that his plan matched some of the things that are on my plan, showed me that he actually does listen to me, and he is hearing what I'm saying, and he is investing in what I want to, and that it's all about us and not all about like him or I or her. And so all of us working together was really like developed through this workshop because we all took it together. Like I said, I didn't want to do it unless all of us were going to take it together, because we all needed to grow together. I was tired of growing apart. And so through this, in each of those steps, I feel like we each grew forward. And then we talked about everything too. Like, so after the workshop was over, on the way home, we would talk about, what did you get out of it? What does this look like? So it built up our communication like at the same time. It was really impactful. Well, goodness. If they're on the fence about it, I would say just do it. Because for me, I was on the fence about it. And then I would say talk to somebody that did it. Because I was on the fence at first, and then I talked to somebody that did it. And then I was like, okay, I'm in. Like from that perspective, like going forward, like I know I'm gonna take the next one. At least that's in my head right now. I'm taking the next one. I have it actually in my plan to make sure I'm taking at least 2 workshops a year. So if these keep going, like this is perfect. Because of the growth and the things that I've been able to see for myself in it. And I would also say like one thing that I know that I'm gonna do differently the next time I go in is that I'm going to be really focused in on those in-between times. I wanted to do a lot of journaling in between, and I can see like in the first 2 classes I had a lot of journaling because I was doing a daily journal. By the 3rd class I had given up on my daily journal. And so I would like to see what happens the next time if I don't give up on that daily journaling and I just keep doing it every time.